Just before the international break, it's time to do a Premier League recap of what happened at the weekend. Round 7 was a blast. It did give us some surprise results, but without wasting much time, let's go into the best talking points from all the results and action we saw over the past weekend. And starting with you, Victor, City beat Brentford via a narrow 1-0 scoreline. I mean, a win is a win at the end of the day. But what we are seeing way too familiar every single time is Donnarumma making key saves to keep his side in the game. How crucial do you think the Italian could be for City in the title race?
Oh, I mean, he's gonna be just as huge as he is physically. I mean, there's no denying he's a fantastic goalie, and he seems, at least so far, to have adapted well to the Prem already. I mean, it's early, but the signs are encouraging. But one of the things about goalies is that they're usually not the players who get into the sport for the spotlight. I mean, can you imagine someone with Zlatan's character choosing to be a goalie? I can't. So City, they haven't really had much goalie trouble since well before Pep Guardiola's arrival. Joe Hart was great, Ederson was great. Now Donnarumma is quietly going about his business, and I think it's not the goalie that's the problem. I think if there's anything that will derail City's title push, it's injuries. Look at Rodri; he's out again. Things are definitely not looking rosy for a few others. But yeah, the goalkeeper, it's going to be just as quietly brilliant for City as it's been for the last 15 years or even more. I mean, I remember Shea Given, and that was something.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, City have been so good that even their backup goalkeeper Ortega was good enough to even start for some
Oh,
top
yeah.
clubs like United. He could have started at United easily, but anyways, moving on to you, Max. Aston Villa have slowly revived their season. With 2 consecutive wins and no defeat in their last 4 league games. I remember once upon a time we are talking about Villa struggling to score, and now they look like they are on the rise slowly. But what must Unai Emery do to maintain his side's form?
I mean, I would probably say that there wasn't like a big problem in their game style. They just couldn't finish and score. Now they can finally score goals and they're starting to win. So I'd say if they just continue to finish their moments because they have a lot of them each game, if they can just maintain that, they can definitely finish in top 10 and be pretty much deep in Europa League as well.
Mm, fair point. And moving on, Crystal Palace. I'm sure Victor must be happy about this one. Crystal Palace finally saw their unbeaten run come to an end at the hands of Everton. Ironically, the same fashion in which they defeated Liverpool was something similar, that happened to them as well at the hands of Everton. They were leading and, of course, they ended up losing. But Victor, is it one of those results, I mean, that would always happen in the Premier League? Or can we say Crystal Palace suffered some fatigue from the Conference League?
I don't think we should qualify a loss away to Everton as just one of those results, because if you look at how tough Moyes' side are to play against, I don't think that's Palace's problem. That's a problem for anyone visiting Everton. But this was simply a case of Palace's run coming to an end because of a combination of things. Probably the biggest one is the squad depth, if you ask me.
Yeah.
They don't exactly seem well equipped for a sustained push in all competitions, especially since they've never played in Europe before. People forget that.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'll be curious to see if they address this in January. But so far, yeah, I don't think there's much shame in losing away to Everton when Everton are playing this well.
Yeah, fair point. And moving on to Nottingham Forest. After a 2-0 defeat to Newcastle, this one's for you, Max. Forest are now 17th, just a point ahead of the relegation zone and with no win in their last 5 league games. In fact, they have only one win all through the season. After already sacking, Nuno Santo, is there a weird possibility of sacking Ange Postecoglou as well? And the final question, is there a possibility they get relegated this season?
I mean, when you have this type of owner, you can expect everything actually, because Marinakis is the guy that almost sacked Nuno last season when they almost finished in UCL, and that's crazy. So after this type of games, yeah, probably it can happen, but obviously I can't see them relegating because they're like teams like Burnley, West Ham, and Wolves. They're looking so bad. The only problem for Nottingham Forest could be that they're playing in Europe this season as well, and it depends if they're gonna focus on Prem or Europa League. So I'd say I don't really see them relegating, and probably Andre is going to have at least one season. But if he's been sacked, Marinakis is done for me.
I won't be surprised anyways if he gets sacked because Marinakis, it looks like that guy that could just pull the plug anytime. But
Yeah.
anyways, on the final note for this video, Victor, we spoke at this extensively. Oh, why are the bookmakers giving Brighton those odds, to win against Wolves? And for some reason, Brighton failed to beat Wolves despite how terrible Wolves have been this season. I mean, is there something the bookmakers know that we don't?
Yeah, I mean, for me, this was the most shocking result of the round by far. Like Liverpool losing or Sunderland not beating United, that wasn't as shocking to me as Brighton failing to win. I think sometimes I was backing this in the prediction show, and I was backing it to the hilt, and I have no regrets about that. Sometimes we get it wrong, and that's fine. I still think it was a case of overpricing Brighton, even though they ended up not winning. But if you look at how the game unfolded, they dominated. Wolves could have easily fallen victim to the scored too early problem, especially when they're playing so poorly. I think it was just one of those games for Brighton that they scored one, but they could and maybe arguably should have scored three.
Yeah, exactly. I was watching the game as well, and I felt like they could easily have won that game by 4 goals. But yeah, it is just one of those results. I mean, we can never always get it right. But those are our thoughts from the first round of games from the Premier League. And in another video, we'll be doing justice to the remaining games that happened over the weekend for round 7.